Hello everyone, and welcome to our online lecture series. In this particular video, we are going to see our first chapter in geography, that is India, and we are going to study it with respect to 2 points. First is size, and the other is location. Comparing this chapter to the others in the section, this is comparatively easy and a very straightforward chapter. The chapter studies 2 3 important points. First is size of India, location of India, and India's relation with neighbors, and how strategically location plays a very important role in the functioning of the country. All right, let us quickly start. India is one of the ancient civilizations in the world. It has achieved multifaceted socio-economic progress during the last 5 decades. It has moved forward, displaying remarkable progress in the field of agriculture, industry, technology, and overall economic development. India has also contributed significantly to the making of world history. Right, we have been an Asian country for a long period of time. India has dominated world politics until India herself got dominated by other countries. Right, we are one of the most powerful countries in the world. So let us now carefully look at this globe and find out where India is exactly situated. Now, if you divide the world into four halves, as you can see in this particular globe, they have marked with this dotted line. 0 degrees is, of course, equator. You can see here the marking is quite clear. And if you divide this, you will find out that India lies entirely in the north hemisphere. Right, so we lie in the northern hemisphere, as well as if you divide the globe diagonally, you will find India lies in the eastern hemisphere. Right, not in the western hemisphere, which is to your left. Let us come to location. India is a vast country lying entirely in the northern hemisphere. The mainland extends between latitudes 8 degrees 4 minutes north and 37 degrees 6 minutes north, and longitudes 68 degrees 7 minutes east and 97 degrees 25 minutes east. The Tropic of Cancer, of course, passes through India, and it divides India into almost two equal parts. Further, we are going to see from which different states it passes. To the southeast and southwest of mainland lie the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Islands in Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea respectively. Right. So find out over here. Bay of Bengal, you have this Andaman Nicobar Island group, and in Arabian Sea we have Lakshadweep, as well as the Tropic of Cancer. You can see here passes exactly through the midway. Right. Let us come to size. The landmass of India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometers. That's actually a very huge area, and India is almost the 7th largest country in the world and 2nd largest in Asia after China. India's total area accounts for about only 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. Right. In this table, in this graph, let us take a look at this. You can see with respect to India, Russia is almost 6 times, a bit lesser than that, of course, bigger than India. Canada and USA and China are almost thrice our size, quite bigger countries, and Australia is almost double. Remember, Australia is a continent country, right? Now, India has borders of about 15,200 kilometers. That's like huge. And if you count together that of Andaman, Nicobar, and Lakshadweep, we have a maritime border of 7,516.6 kilometers. That is actually huge. What is the advantage? Number one, yes, you guessed it right. We become a big naval power. And number two, we can do a lot of businesses with respect to waters, fishing, coconut farming, and then allied activities from coconuts. These are the things. India is bounded by young fold mountains in the northwest, north, and northeast. South of about 22 degrees north latitude, it begins to taper and extend towards the Indian Ocean. You can see in the V section, it tapers and it protrudes into the Indian Ocean, right? Dividing it into two seas, the Arabian on the west and the Bay of Bengal on the east. All right. So we find that for us, it's a very easy observation that from east to west India is larger, but that's not the case. India is larger from north to south. From north to south it is 3,214 kilometers, while as from west to east India is almost 2,933 kilometers, and that is lesser, of course. From Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh there is a time lag of 2 hours, remember my friends, and we adjust our watches to this 82 degrees 32 minutes east, which passes through Mirzapur, right? This is the standard meridian. I've pointed out in this on the screen here. We set our watches according to that. So the latitudinal extent influences the duration of day and night as one moves from south to north. Now India with respect to world. Now from ancient times, India has been a very strategically a very important nation. All trade routes pass through India. The famous Silk Route, which went from China to India to the other influential European countries, went through India, and this made us a very powerful country because everything went through India. Therefore, we got benefits of trade, and therefore our products, which were of a very high quality, cloth and spices and all these things, went into Europe, and we became powerful, right? The Indian landmass has central location between the East and the West Asia. India is a southward extension of the Asian continent. The trans-Indian routes which connect the countries of Europe in the west and countries of East Asia provide a strategic central location to India. Note that the Deccan Peninsula protrudes into the Indian Ocean, thus helping India to establish close contact with West Asia, Africa, and Europe from the western coast, and with South and East Asia from the central coast. No other country has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean as India, and therefore an entire ocean is named after our country. You can see over here, Indian Ocean, right? Because of India's influence. So strategically that gives us a very big advantage over we can build our navy in that respect, because we have such a big coastline borders, of course including of Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar as well. India's contact with the world have continued through ages, right? From old ages, from ancient travelers coming to India, Chinese philosophers coming to India, staying in India, studying in India's prime universities, and going back to China and writing great stuffs about India. We all have studied this in history, right? How great our country was. Then we had trade relations with Egypt, with the Greek civilization, with all the other civilization that were happening. And how did we understand this? During archaeological excavations, we found out coins which were particularly referring to this civilization, and we understood that some time ago we had trade relations with these nations. All right. Let us come to the next important point, that is India's neighbors. Now, India occupies an important strategic position in South Asia. India has 29 states and 7 UTs. Now, that number is changed, of course, due to the recent constitutional amendments. India shares its land boundaries with Pakistan and Afghanistan in the northwest, China, Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan in the north, Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east, and southern neighbors include Sri Lanka and Maldives. You can see Sri Lanka and Maldives towards our south, Afghanistan, Pakistan towards our northwest, and China, Tibet, Bhutan towards our northeast, and Bangladesh and Myanmar towards our east. Alright. Sri Lanka is separated by India with a narrow channel, which we call as the Palk Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, while Maldives Islands are situated to the south of Lakshadweep Islands. Now, India has strong geographical and historical links with its neighbors. From ancient times, we were a country who have helped our neighbors. India is a country which, of course, is the first one to help whenever there is natural disasters, which happened in Nepal during the tragic earthquake few years ago. Indian army went there. They did all the social work. They distributed food packets, clothes, helped the country in rehabilitation, and then came back to India. So strategically, we are a very important nation, and we are a very old civilization. One of the most ancient civilizations, never invaded its neighbors, never troubled its neighbors, like a good boy country, so to say. So I hope I've made things very clear in this particular chapter. For homework, you have to solve the exercise. You can see these questions. You can solve them. Whichever occurs as a problem to you, you can ask me directly or put them in the comment section. I would advise you to listen to this video again and again so that everything fits into your head. Alright. And read the chapter carefully in order to understand all the details that I discussed here. Alright. Thank you so much.